once again, week 1 in the books. JJ98 over there, Paki over here. All right, I'm gonna go by Coach Paki moving forward now. I got to start embracing my title of Coach. So,
El Coach.
we're back. That's right.
Back
We are
by
back.
unpopular demand, demanded by no one. We should be watched by no one. No one should listen to anything we have to say, especially Cousin Juan. The rest of you can watch and click and
Hang up
join
right
us
now. Just close the window right
and
now. Don't even bother watching the rest
put
of the
stuff in the
video.
chat.
We'll just keep talking, me and Jay, and just close it off. Don't listen to anything.
Eso es lo que le gusta, just to be mentioned at the beginning.
Yeah. Turn it off now. Now. Stop
Like
listening.
right now.
Why are you still listening? Jeez.
All right, bud. Let's get right into the show.
Yeah, man. Football's back, baby. Now it's officially back.
Week 1 of the NFL is complete. We started with the Eagles and the Cowboys on Thursday. Then there was a game played in Brazil for the second time ever, I believe, also on a Friday, which doesn't happen all that often. And that was the Chargers and the Chiefs. Much to your joy, the Chiefs lost. And then we had a whole football Sunday slate and Monday. 4 days out of the weekend taken completely over by NFL football, and we got football in 2 more days, bro.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we got football Thursday, like you said, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday. So it was a treat, man. And Monday. And honestly, Monday's game started off kind of slow. I got sleepy, and then it ramped up at the end. So, a lot of
let's
good
take
games,
it from the top. We'll talk about Monday last. Thursday Night Football. So the defending champion Philadelphia Eagles opened up the season playing in Philadelphia, and they beat the Cowboys. 2 historic, once-in-a-lifetime plays happened right at the very kickoff. You lost your kickoff. It was the potential fullback for the Eagles, which are planning to do a lot more fullback, is what I heard. I mean, I don't know what kind of wrench that throws into their game plan going forward, but he dislocated a kneecap. He's done for the year. And help me out with the name of the player who got kicked out for spitting.
Oh, you don't know the name of the player that got kicked out for spitting? That's Jalen Carter, dude. That's like not probably. That's definitely the best player on the Eagles defense by far. I don't even think it's close. And he might even get suspended. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, the leading pass rusher. Suspended is a bit much. But come on, that was a bonehead play from the beginning. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, I know Dak bit, whatever, bro. But people just do stupid things. I don't know, man. People do stupid things. Emotions are high.
Yeah,
Never underestimate like how many bad decisions football players in general, professional, college, or high school, can do when emotions are high, dude. Especially when it's a rivalry game. It's very tense. I'm not justifying it. I'm just telling you, like, people do stupid things. And that was stupid.
brother, he approaches a huddle. He's the only one with a different colored jersey. You know everybody's looking at him. And then he does this right in front of a ref. In a perfect world,
I don't know.
In a perfect world, how could this have gone right for him? Like, what was the desired outcome here? You spit on him and you go back to the line and then you still tackle him? Like, no, dude, you knew something was going to happen.
I don't know, man. I guess it's just setting the tone for the game because, since he is a defender and he plays on the line, he most likely is going to be in Dak Prescott's face all game. So I don't know. It's probably setting the message. But yeah, it's stupid, man. I don't think it's worth saying much about it. I can honestly say that the like, talking football wise, you could definitely tell that they missed him during the game. I think, the Cowboys ran the ball a lot better because he wasn't there. And I think Dak Prescott had more time in the pocket because he wasn't there. Because he's not an outside pass rusher. He's an inside pass rusher. So that's like a quarterback's worst enemy when you're getting inside pressure, right? Aaron Donald, hello, Warren Sapp, right? So, like, this is the type of player that he is. So you definitely saw a benefit on the Cowboys side. And I honestly, as a matter of fact, I would say that him getting kicked out of the game is the reason why the game ended 24-20, meaning that why the Eagles didn't cover the spread. I think if he played, the Eagles would have definitely covered that spread.
You took the words right out of my mouth. That's exactly what I was going to say. Him not being there was what made the score even close.
Yeah,
All right.
100%. Yeah,
This game had a little bit of everything. We had boys to men. We had spitting at the beginning. We had season enders. We had a thunder delay, a long weather delay. The game ended well after midnight.
bro.
And
Tell me about it.
then fatigue and all, we went to work and we were right back at it on Friday. And Friday, fill me in. So Eagles, not Eagles, I'm sorry, the Chiefs. Are we panicking?
Chiefs and Chargers. I mean, dude, I don't think it's a matter of. I mean, they need receivers. That Xavier Worthy injury, and I know that's probably something we'll talk about. Like the Xavier Worthy injury, like forget about fantasy football wise, dude, it hurts. This team hasn't really had good receivers, and I know they won the Super Bowl without great receivers, but when they did win the Super Bowl without great receivers, they did have a really good running game, and that's something that I'm not seeing in the Chiefs right now. I don't know if Isaiah Pacheco is just not getting it done. I mean, you got to give credits to the Chargers. I mean, dude, that Jim Harbaugh defense is legit. It always has been his style of play. You know, I mean, running the ball, controlling the clock. He's so fundamentally sound. So you got to give credit to the Chargers too. But I don't see the run game there being as dominant as it used to be, right? And then you're missing those outside pieces. So they're going to miss Xavier Worthy. I wouldn't say it's time to panic, but, you know, the Chiefs always find a way to win. They're a good team. They're a good coach team, and they got arguably one of the best quarterbacks in history, right? So they're going to win games. I'm not worried about that. Are they going to be like dominating and lighting up the scoreboard every week? I don't think so.
They weren't that last year either.
Exactly. And they didn't win the Super Bowl. So I wouldn't call it the panic button.
All right. I wasn't expecting anything really out of the Chargers. They surprised me. I don't. I mean, outside of damn old boy, the one we always used to argue about here in the group, Keenan Allen.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know any of the receivers. I know McConkey kind of came on last year, but
Yeah.
he was like a deep option. He was kind of like the only guy left. I don't know much about their running game either. I know they picked up Najee Harris, but he wasn't featured. It was Omari and Hampton.
Yeah, rookie.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and their offense, I mean, they did as well as they could, given a week one where a lot of the starters probably didn't feature much in the preseason. They
Nah,
win the
man.
game.
I think the Chargers have been building up to this. I mean, like Quentin Johnson that lit it up. He's a first round pick. He hasn't lived up to it, but he's still a first round pick, like from 3 years ago or 2 years ago. Glad McConkey, I think he's also a first or second round pick. Keenan Allen is like a pro, like a veteran, right? The running back, I think he was a second round pick. You know what I mean? So like Justin Herbert, first round pick, and Justin Herbert hasn't been great, but in his defense, Staley, which was the former coach, was horrible in my opinion. And that's somebody that watches 2 Chargers games a year at least, right? Playing the Raiders. But dude, I say this all the time. Like, you cannot underestimate the value of a head coach in football. I always liked it, but like once you're coaching, dude, you can really see the difference, man. And Jim Harbaugh is the real deal Holyfield. So I think he makes a big impact. He brings stability. He brings calmness to that team. He brings a lot of leadership. They clearly know what they're doing. So all of that was on display, man. I am pretty high on the Chargers. I think the Chargers are a
All right,
legit
so
team.
this show of ours basically focuses on fantasy. What are some of the fantasy takeaways of that matchup? Who do you see going forward is going to step up as receiver for the Chiefs? Is there anyone really to go claim? Is there anyone that's going to step up
I mean,
in Worthy's absence?
I think Quentin Johnson is he's the waiver wire pickup of the week, right? Like I think he's free in our league as well. Let me see. Is he? I'm checking right now. I'm
All right,
pretty
while you
sure
check
he
that,
is.
let me say some words,
Oh,
fill
it's
in the
Quentin.
gaps
Yeah.
here.
So the thing. No. You don't have this. Fine. So like, I mean, he's the pickup of the week. Other than that, dude, like, if I'm being honest with you, these guys, like I feel like it's so difficult because besides the running back, I don't think that the receivers are going to be consistently good, and that's because this is a run-first offense. I think Justin Herbert, I think, is going to be better than he was given credit for in fantasy. Not super great, but honestly, I'd probably take him over Purdy at this point. But receivers, I think it can vary week to week. I think Latin McConkey is going to be solid, but this is a run-first team, right? So I think the running backs are going to be featured a lot, which they're already drafted, right? Quentin
I
Johnson is
appreciate
on the
the
waiver
answer.
wire.
I did kind of ask about the Chiefs, though, given their
Oh, I thought it was the
situation.
Chargers.
They're down a receiver. Travis Kelce is not really creating a ton of separation aside from his blocking
Mm-hmm.
duties and everything else he has to do. Um, he doesn't look like he's the number one receiving option on the Chiefs anymore. He might be by default, but that doesn't mean he's going to get you 100+ yards every single game with 2 touchdowns. So who's the ball going to now in the absence of every
I
recognizable
mean,
receiver?
Hollywood Brown, I think, led the team in targets, right? So that's what I would go for, personally. I don't trust Juju Smith-Schuster at all. I don't care. I don't trust him. I don't care if he's a good pick. I don't care. I don't care if I'm wrong. I don't trust him personally. I just don't think. I don't know. I just don't trust him, and I might be wrong, but I think Hollywood Brown is who I would go with on that team, if I were to
I
pick
think you might be
somebody.
right,
But
actually.
but
Right.
more than worried about who to pick up for the Chiefs, I think we could talk about like who's not going to give you like who's probably not going to live up to their draft potential. Like I'd be
Who to
worried about
draft?
Mahomes. You know what I mean? I'd be worried if I'm a Mahomes owner. I'd be worried. If I'm a Pacheco owner, I'd be worried. If I'm a Travis Kelce owner, which is me, by the way, I think it's me, or it's me at least in another league. It might be me, because I got like 5 leagues now, dude. So I get confused with players. But if I'm a Travis Kelce owner, I'd
Any
be
league outside of League of Haters doesn't exist. And no, you do not have
right,
Travis
right.
Kelce.
I wouldn't be as worried, but he will be touchdown dependent. So I don't think he's gonna put up 100 yards and 10 catches without it. Like it's all about touchdowns for Travis Kelce. So he'll have up and down weeks, right? But that's the one since Travis Kelce was picked so far down in the draft. That's the one I'm least worried about. But dude, all the other guys that I mentioned, they were picked up pretty high, right? So I'd be worried about those.
What do you call him down in the draft? I think he went like in the third, maybe fourth round.
Really, he did in our league? Oh wow, Travis Kelce? No way,
Yeah,
no way. I'm gonna check right
I
now.
think that's about as high as he got. And I mean, there aren't a lot of tight end options, so you're kind of stuck with them. I don't know what you do
Uh,
when you say you're panicking, but where
That's
do
what
you
I'm
go
saying.
from there?
Yeah, I'm not. That's what I'm saying. Like there isn't that many tight end options, so that's the one that I'm least panicked about out of all the ones I mentioned. But dude,
All right.
all the other ones, man. Obviously, if you have Xavier Worthy, I think you bit the bullet, bro, because that guy got lit up. I have
All
Xavier
right.
Worthy in
We,
another
we
league
spent too
too.
much time talking about two individual games. I'm just going to go over a few of the highlights of what happened on Sunday. Sunday at 1 o'clock, we saw Indiana Jones handle the Dolphins. Indiana Jones,
I
formerly
just
known
saw
as
Tua
Danny
throw a pick.
Dimes.
I just saw Tua throw a pick six right now because I'm rewatching NFL Red Zone right now.
Indiana Jones, why was he able to be successful? Is this all on the Dolphins?
I think I think it's two things, man. I think number one, he did have like the O line played really good. So he did have protection. Number two, I think the Dolphins were just really bad. Honestly, I don't think Daniel Jones is gonna light this up every week. I don't believe it. I don't think that. I think I think this game was more about how bad the Dolphins played on offense and defense than about how good the culture or Daniel Jones did. Obviously, their numbers lived up to it and they played good. They did what they were supposed to do. But dude, the Dolphins were atrocious in every level. I don't know what it is, dude. Like from a football standpoint, like I feel like their energy was off. I just
Is
didn't
it
feel
time
like
to cut
energy.
bait?
I don't know, dude. Even from the coach, I just didn't see that same like. It almost felt like if they came into this game thinking they were going to lose already. Like I don't know, dude. It was a weird vibe, honestly. So they gotta clean that part up.
All right, fantasy related, I got two questions for you. If you're an owner looking for a quarterback, is it worth it to put in a waiver claim for Indiana
No,
Jones?
no.
All right.
And the reason
Simple
why is
question,
because
simple answer.
there's a lot of other better options. That's the reason. This is it.
Gotcha. All right. If you're the owner of Tyreek Hill, do you panic and trade him? Do you hold on him? What are you doing there?
I would hold on him because my expectation as a Tyreek Hill owner and another league also, by the way, is that he'll get traded at some point during the season. That's
Ooh,
my
he
hope.
gets traded NFL. Okay, interesting.
Yeah, in the NFL.
All
That's my
right.
hope. Because if these guys keep melting down, I think they could trade him. And honestly, wouldn't it be crazy, dude, if the Chiefs traded for him, like
I
before the
mean,
trade deadline,
I
dude?
think given the position they're in, they kind of have to, no?
Right, right. Wouldn't that be
And
crazy?
and they've and they've shown that they'll go back to the well. I mean, they traded and got back Kareem Hunt.
Right, right, dude. That'd be so insane if that would happen. I mean, we got to check the NFL script.
And that's tough for you. All right. I own Joe Burrow in this league. Less than 10 fantasy points for a quarterback. Um, is this typical of Joe Burrow just to have a slow start? Is this kind of how you expect it to go? Is this kind of a reflection of Cleveland pass rush just being so good?
Bengals always start slow, but they still won. Cleveland did play pretty good on defense. You got to give them credit. They shut down Jamar Chase. I don't think that's going to happen every week, dude. You got Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Like they're both going to run. They're both going to catch 1,000 yards. Chase Brown's going to catch at least 600 yards. Like that's 2,600 yards right there. Like plus whatever else. Like all the other, everybody else gets. Joe Burrow will be fine. I'm not worried. It was a bad week. They start slow. They'll ramp up. They'll be fine.
In a
Everybody
17
on that.
game
Everybody on
season,
that team. Everybody on that team is going to be fine on offense.
is a 17 game season, is 1,000 yards still getting you a Pro Bowl?
Yeah, because now nobody wants to go to the Pro Bowl, dude. The Pro Bowl's a fucking joke.
I mean, the original selection, not coming on as a
No,
replacement.
but 1,000 yards isn't the benchmark to go to the Pro Bowl. 1,000 yards is kind of like the benchmark to know that you had a good season. If you're gonna be like
Shouldn't
a
that come up then
like,
with more games?
you could say maybe 1050. What you know? What I mean, it's still around what
If
you're not gonna
1,500.
say 11. You're not gonna say 1,100 because you're 1,000 yards in a season at 16 games is not 100 yards per game. That's about 75, 80 yards per game. I think it is. I don't know. I'm doing head math. So you're looking at what 1080,
Hey, yo.
1050. So yeah,
Okay.
pause. Pause. Yeah, dude. I still
Bucks
think it's
rookie
2,000.
Bucks rookie Egbuka had a big day, catching two
Yes, sir.
touchdowns.
I knew that was gonna
Is
happen.
this, yeah, is this a look forward to the future? How does this affect Mike Evans, and how does this affect him when Chris Godwin returns?
I don't know how that changes when Chris Godwin returns. I don't know yet. I think we got to see more games because he's a rookie. But I think he's gonna get. I think he's gonna get some work until that happens. So I would be excited if I'm an Ibuka owner. I liked him from training camp. I liked him from college. A lot of people had him as sleepers, dude. I think he's gonna be nice, bro. I think he's gonna be nice.
Omar owns him in this league, and how worried are you if you own Mike Evans? Is this going to be the year that breaks the streak?
I mean, what? Let me answer that first. Let me see. And what pick was Mike Evans? Because Mike Evans was the 24th pick. Oh Jesus Christ! The reason why I say that is because I think Mike Evans is going to be fine. I don't know if the streak is going to be broken. Remember last year, I think he barely made it to 1,000 in the last game, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know. Maybe he won't make it to 1,000. Maybe he won't. But he'll still produce, dude. He's not gonna be a dud. Yeah, like he'll still get touchdowns. Like that's the thing. He might be more touchdown dependent than yard dependent. That's all. But he's gonna get touchdowns, man.
We're way off on Baker Mayfield. A Rod had
How was
a
that? What do you
good
mean?
game.
What do you mean I was off on Baker Mayfield when I said he was gonna suck in Cleveland?
He
In my
said he was
defense,
so sucked.
in my
He was going to
defense, I
suck.
said
He
he.
was a bust. He can only run to one side.
Yep,
I don't know,
yep.
man.
No,
He's
that's
outplaying
exactly
all
what
these
happened.
projections.
Hey, that's a story in Cleveland for what 4 or 5 years. The Bucks coached him up. They helped him. He's a better player. You know what I mean? I don't want to. I'm surprised that he improved, honestly, because I was more worried about his personality. But I don't want. I don't want to get too much into that. But yeah, I was wrong for sure. But I wasn't
That
completely wrong at first because he sucked.
dude's just a football player. But have faith.
Yeah.
Ron, 4 touchdowns in a game.
Now
Is,
that
is,
was a
is this
surprise
was it now?
for. Oh my
I
god,
mean,
dude. I
I
mean,
I feel I feel like he thought he still had it in him. You said that was a surprise.
that was a surprise. I was very surprised. I wasn't even that high on DK Metcalf. I talked about that last week. I just don't. I don't trust the Pittsburgh offense. I didn't. He's very old now. Granted, with his age, it's still worth seeing if he keeps that production up through 17 weeks, because the hits you're gonna start feeling them. the thing that people don't understand about old age and for athletes, right? Because we're all in our in our 40s or close to it. But the thing people don't understand about athletes is where age really starts making an impact is not on what you can and can't do, it's how much slower you recover, right? So like when you're 21, you're 22, dude. Like I coach 12-year-olds. They'll sprain their ankle. It looks like a fucking like basketball, and they'll come like 2 days later to practice like nothing happened. Like in high school, these kids play on Friday. Dude, these kids play on Friday and they show up on Monday to school like nothing happened. Like clean. You know what I mean? Like youth is just amazing when it comes to recovery. But when you're 40, I'm pretty sure this guy's got to do fucking smoke a ton of ayahuasca to get ready for the next Sunday. So again, we'll see how that goes throughout the season. So, but it was a surprise to me that he looked as good as he did. Because he didn't look good last season. So,
Do you think he was
credits to him.
particularly inspired by playing against the Jets? He did mention that in his post-game conference. He just wanted
I
to
mean,
do that to that team that didn't believe in him.
probably because Justin Fields lit it up too, dude. Justin Fields was another like potential bust, right? I mean, you can kind of even in a way label him a bust because he didn't work out where he was drafted, and he's been jumping around to different teams, but now he like
On
had
his
the best
third
game of
team?
his career. Yeah, he had the best game of his career. So maybe that had to do with it. It's week one. I don't like to overreact over 1 week, but they both look good, and we'll see what happens. I am both on the fence about both of them, both Justin Fields and Aaron Rodgers. Like, how are they going to be able to be consistent? Justin Fields for different reasons than Rodgers, but will they be consistent throughout the season? We'll see.
All right. Which is the better fantasy option?
I think based on how the Jets use Justin Fields, I would say Justin Fields because you might get some touchdowns, rushing touchdowns. Rushing touchdowns are always they're always a plus. Oh, Daniel Jones cooking the Dolphins again on TV on NFL Red Zone. Wow, they
No, but
really
it's
showed up the Dolphins a lot on Red Zone.
the problem is the bad secondary. He scored at the goal line. He scored rushing
Yep.
touchdowns. He beat him inside. He beat him short. He beat him long. But it's all because the secondary is bad. When the
Yeah,
secondary is
I
bad,
mean
everything kind of sucks.
these guys are like 10 yards open, bro. Like these receivers, like that's just bad defense. It's not like he's making like these tight contested throws or anything like that. Like guys are super open.
Yep, and his run, yeah, that was all on the secondary.
Mm-hmm.
All of his running, all of his rushing touchdowns, that's secondary for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right, moving on to the 4 o'clock games. All of the offseason, at least when I started paying attention, which is probably 2 weeks into the preseason, everybody was super high on 2 teams, the Patriots and the Broncos. I watched a lot of that Broncos game. I picked the Broncos to beat the Tennessee Titans in a
Which they did.
survivor pool. They did, but man, it was a lot closer than I wanted it to be, and I was kind of uncomfortable up until the fourth quarter. Bo
Yeah,
Nix didn't impress me.
they looked rusty. That's the reality. I think they looked rusty. I think Tennessee has a decent defense also. I think they had a good game plan. But they did look rusty. I don't think it's going to be like that all season. I think they're going to be better, personally, on offense. I think they have to get RJ Harvey more involved on that offense because that kid is awesome. Like, that's their running back, their rookie running back. They got to get him more involved. I'm sure Sean Payton will. I trust Sean Payton to make adjustments. Bo Nix shows he has the talent. He's not a one-trick pony. So, again, I don't want to overreact over 1 week, dude. They looked rusty, but it's also the first week. So I don't want to overreact. I think the Broncos are a great team. I don't think they're better than, like, in that division. I don't think they're better than the Chargers. I don't think they're better than the Chiefs. I do think they are better than the Raiders. So, I think they're a good team. I think they'll be better.
All right, and on that same game, but the flip side of the coin, the was he the number 1 overall pick? I think it was Cam Ward.
Yeah, he
What'd
was.
you see there?
I saw a lot of passes hitting receivers in the chest, dude. A lot. Even in the last drive, it was like 3rd and 9, I think it is. And Calvin Ridley did have to extend a little bit for it, but that is a catchable ball on 3rd and 9, game on the line. I think it was a 1-possession game at that point. You have to catch the football, Calvin Ridley, and he did not. There was a lot of drops in that game. I think he looked like a rookie, obviously, right? He had some bad throws. He had some tough moments. But he also had some good moments, right? And some good throws. They just couldn't deliver. I mean, there's a reason why they were the worst team in the NFL last year. You know what I mean? So, and that's why, because they are just making stupid mistakes when they need not to. So, fantasy wise, I don't want anybody in Tennessee. I don't want any person in Tennessee on my team unless they play linebacker
Yikes.
or some shit like that. So, Again, it's just because they're a team that are on the rebuild.
What
So
does that say about me owning Calvin Ridley and all the other Calvin Ridley? I picked them kind of high.
yeah, even
Oh man,
if Calvin really, but yeah, even if Calvin really gives you production, right? Like what I look at when I draft as a receiver is like how many touchdowns is like the quarterback going to be throwing, right? So like, is Calvin really going to get to double-digit touchdowns? I don't think so. That's my personal opinion. I could be wrong, but he could still get you 1,000 yards. He could still get you 80+ catches. He's the main receiver in that offense. But again, I would look for other options if it was me, right? But if you already have him, you just got to do what you can with what you have.
bite the bullet. All
Yeah,
right. You mentioned that the Houston offensive line had a ton of problems, and this
they did.
came true. CJ Stroud struggled. Was this more on CJ or was this the line?
Nah, it's more on the O line. I think the same thing happened last season. I think when CJ Stroud gets good protection, the kid does good decision making. He puts the ball in good spots. Um, I also think they struggle to get the run game going, if I'm not mistaken. And when you have a really bad offensive line that can't pass protect and can't block um, for runs, it's just going to be a tough time for the offense, dude. Like it's just you can't be an offense with bad offensive line with consistently third and long. When I say third and long, is anything over 5-6 yards, right, where you have to throw the ball. So I think it's going to be a rough season for CJ Stroud. I don't think he's going to be able to deliver as much as he can unless their offensive line steps it up. But that team has a problem with the offensive line. That's where their problem starts.
The 49ers decided to extend Brock Purdy. It cost them, um, amongst other things, Debo Samuel, who looked amazing in Washington. Brock Purdy, worth the money?
He is to Kyle Shanahan. That's your answer. Because he can run Kyle Shanahan's offense. He's good at a play action. He's good on the boot. That's what Kyle Shanahan loves to do. So he is to Kyle Shanahan. For fantasy, he
Quick
gave
question
21
here.
points. I said 15 to 25 points. He gave 21. The question is he? I don't know if this is your question, but my answer to my question is he a quarterback that's going to take you to the Super Bowl over Jalen Hurts, over Jordan Love, right? Over Jared Goff and Detroit? Like these are the top teams. I don't think so. No.
I mean, he's done it twice already.
Who?
Purdy?
Yeah, he has, but I don't think that's where they're at anymore. I think he only went to one Super Bowl, if I'm not mistaken. But I don't think
I
that's where
think you're
they're at
right.
anymore. I don't think that's where they're at anymore. I don't think they're that team.
All right. You think he's really hurt?
Probably.
I mean,
Who am I to say? Who am I to say? I don't know.
shoulders, ribs, knees. I think he didn't look all that great, even though he produced in fantasy. At the end, he got some numbers. I wouldn't call it garbage time. They needed it, each one of those points. But at the end, he scored some points, but he didn't look all that great. He threw, I think, 2 interceptions. With Kittle being out, I think he's going to try to protect him, maybe. I don't know. If he only misses week 2 and comes back week 3, I'm kind of suspicious about this injury. But
I
hey,
told
it
you, dude,
opens the
like I don't know.
door.
I told you, dude, I don't know what's going on with the 49ers strength and conditioning, but the last 2 seasons they've been completely destroyed by injuries. Last year, all the receivers were hurt. All of the receivers spent time on IL, including George Kittle. Their main running back spent more time on IL than active. And the season has 1 week in, and we're already headed in the same direction. The season that they made it to the NFC Championship and lost to the Eagles, why did they lose to the Eagles? They lost their starting quarterback and their backup quarterback in that game, on top of all the injuries that they already had. You know what I mean? Like, there's just something going on in that team where, like, these guys, I don't know what it is. They just get hit and they fold. I don't know what it is. But they got to look at their strength and conditioning, dude. It's not right. Something is not right.
Yeah, all the money that these professional teams pay to trainers and training staff and all that. I say this about the Yankees every year. Like you're paying all this
Mm-hmm.
money now for the scientists to come up with the torpedo bat, but everyone on your team is always getting injured. Like there has to be something that's
Dude,
not
and
happening right there.
strength, look, dude, strength and conditioning is something that you'll never hear about get as much credit on TV, but it's such a real thing because strength and conditioning is not just about like taking care of the players, but like, dude, like at the high school level, you can definitely see a difference on the strength and conditioning of the players, right? based on the workouts that they're doing, based on how they're structured, based on how the positions are doing, based on what their recovery is that they're getting recommended to the players, the nutrition plan. There's a lot that goes into strength and conditioning that you're responsible for those players. So if something isn't being done right for that specific player, it is 100% a thing. Like in basketball, look at the Miami Heat, right? Like they revive old careers all the time, and they barely suffer as many injuries as other teams. Like
The
they
Phoenix
tend
Suns are famous for that.
Phoenix Suns, right? Like I do believe that
Grant
has to
Hill
do with strength
never
and
got
conditioning.
going in Orlando,
Dude.
and then he goes to Phoenix and he plays like 10 more years.
Yeah, and then there's teams, right, that players go there and then these all of a sudden they just start getting hurt, right? Like I honestly believe like strength and conditioning is a real thing.
It absolutely is a real thing. I mean,
Yeah.
these are people you should probably pay more, invest into that instead of other crap.
Yeah. The
Anyway,
Alabama football, the strength and conditioning coach makes $700K a year.
dude, how long has it been since we recorded these shows? You got so much smarter.
Oh man. 700K a year, bro, to strength and conditioning. Josue Matia, you remember Josue Matia? I don't know if you remember Josue Matia, the offensive lineman, the Dominican offensive lineman that played for FSU and went to DR and gave some training camps and stuff like that. I don't know if you remember. He's the strength and conditioning coach at Oklahoma. That's what he does.
Sweet.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Of the I don't know, top 5. Well, let's extend that to top 7. Of the top 7 best players on offense in fantasy, 3 of them are quarterbacks. 3 of them are available. We're going to lead the way with Justin Fields, 2nd overall in fantasy. Daniel Jones, Indiana Jones, 3rd overall in fantasy. And Aaron Rodgers, 7th in fantasy. All of these guys are available. Some players on some people's teams include names like Michael Penix, Caleb Williams, J.J. McCarthy. Are you sticking with the guys you got? Should people rush to the wire and pick any of these guys up? Fields, Jones, Rodgers?
No.
Jordan Love is still available?
See, Jordan Love is an interesting one. Jordan Love is an interesting one because I really do think that this is everybody's on the Packers boat, and honestly, I'm on the Packers boat as well. I don't think they're better than the Eagles yet, but they showed that they're better than Detroit, and I think they're better than Minnesota. So I think, and I don't know if you remember last year, the Eagles and the Packers played in the playoffs, and the Eagles just whooped them. I think the Packers are a little bit closer to the Eagles now, right? So, and getting Micah Parsons makes them even closer. So, my point is, I'm really high on Jordan Love for his season. And when I say that, I am, again, this is my personal opinion with fantasy. I try to look for consistency. And I think Justin Love is going to be a consistent fantasy producer. Like Jordan his floor, Love. Jordan Love. I'm sorry. Who did I say? I'm watching NFL Red Zone. I'm watching NFL Red Zone. So, like, dude, like, I think his floor is not going to be like that bad. But I can see Justin Fields and Aaron Rodgers giving you a single-digit week multiple times.
You said Justin again, but okay.
It's because I said Justin Fields now.
Oh, Justin Fields. All right, my bad.
Justin Fields and Aaron Rodgers, which are in the top, right? I can see them giving you multiple weeks throughout the season of single digits. I think Jordan Love, I highly doubt that he'll have a single-digit week. You know what I mean? So I really like Jordan Love out of that group you mentioned. Hey, if you want to pick these guys up, go ahead. I'm not wasting my time on Daniel Jones. No, fuck no. Daniel Jones has got to have at least 3 or 4 more games for me to be able to believe in him.
Like 3 or 4 more games, he's already getting drafted. Geno Smith also won week 1, and he's available too.
I like Geno Smith better than Daniel Jones, being honest with you. He played better than I thought he would, to be honest with you. I mean, I saw him in the preseason. He was okay. Chip Kelly likes to run the ball. I think here's the thing. I don't know if I think the Patriots defense is pretty good, but I don't know if it was all the Patriots defense as much as the Raiders not executing. There was a point between like the second and like in the first quarter, the Raiders came out and they scored, I think on the first or second drive. And then all the way to the second half, dude, they were like dead in the water. They were just not vibing. Like they were just not clicking, right? Like how they're supposed to. And like I told you, I don't trust the Raiders O-line as much. But they really picked it up in the second half, and that's where coaching comes in, right? We talked about coaching. Pete Carroll, I don't know what he clearly made adjustments. Chip Kelly clearly made adjustments at halftime, and it was a different team in the second half. Totally different team, like from garbage to totally different team. So that gives me a little bit of expectation with Geno Smith because I saw the bad, I saw the adjustments, I saw the good. It wasn't just like a week where everything just like turned out like that was just a great week. Everything worked out. It's not like that every week, right? So Geno Smith is something that I'll keep my eye on, but I'm not wasting a waiver pick on him either.
Okay. So if you need a quarterback after week 1, your top 5 options are Fields, Jones, Rodgers, Smith, and Love. Which are you taking? Quick answer. Just pick one.
Love.
Gotcha. All right. After week 1, you need wide receiver help. Your options are Quentin Johnson, Calvin Austin III, Cedric Tillman, Kayshon Boutte, and Trey Tucker. Which you going with?
I mean, Quentin Johnson's going to be like the one that everybody's going to, go for, right? He had a great game. I don't think he's going to score 2 touchdowns every week, but he was part of the offense. I think he's more involved. He's clearly more involved than Keenan Allen, in my opinion. Because like the way that these route concepts are built, like there's first, second, third reads, right? Everybody knows that, and it looked like Quentin Johnson was first in the progression over Keenan Allen. I feel like Keenan Allen was a lot either the check down or a decoy or one of these guys that run routes to open up somebody else. Again, Quentin Johnson is still not the number one receiver, so there will be inconsistencies week to week, but I guess he's the one to jump onto. Cedric Tillman is somebody that I would keep my eye on. I picked him up last year. He had a couple good weeks last year as well, so I know the talent is there. I don't think Cleveland is consistent. So, again, these guys are all inconsistent. That's where it gets down to. And Calvin Austin, that's somebody that I keep my eye on as well. Again, I don't trust anybody in Pittsburgh, dude. I don't know. And remember, that division is brutal except for the Bengals, right? Like, you got to play the Ravens and the Browns, right? That's 4 games. Those are some really tough secondaries.
Shorter answer. So you're going with Quentin Johnson if you had to choose.
That's the one. Yeah. Sorry.
All right. You need running back help. The best available running back.
There's nothing.
There really isn't anything there.
Bro, I need a running back.
With our scoring system, in our league with our scoring system, the best available running back after week 1 is Trey Benson. I'm not wasting a waiver pick on him. We move on. Tight ends. There were 2 notable injuries, Kittle and Evan Ingram. Your best options there. There's a couple of double-digit scorers after week 1. I got Juwan Johnson, Noah Fant.
Brock Bowers also left the game with a knee injury and he didn't come back. So that's another one to keep an eye
on. Questionable. I don't think they've labeled him. He's going to miss any time yet. But yes, keep an eye on that. And if you don't already have him backed up, then consider going to the wire. And your options as of right now, based on last week's performance, you got Juwan Johnson, Noah Fant, Harold Fannin, Jonnu Smith, and Jake Tonges. He's the one that comes up after George Kittle goes out on injury.
Yeah, all of these running backs, tight ends, these are all hope. I'm including the running backs in what I'm about to say. All of these are hope picks. Like, you're putting in a waiver pick to hope to see what may happen. But I don't trust any of this group, like, honestly. Like, these guys cleaned out the waiver wire, dude. I don't know if I'd spend anything on any of my waiver picks on any of these guys. And my team sucks.
Jake Moody got waived from San Francisco. Maybe you're looking for a kicker. Seeing a lot of kickers, especially a lot of kickers that get a lot of opportunities. Spencer Schrader, Joey Sly, Cam Little, Tyler Loop, and Matt Prater are all available. Don't waste your waiver picks on a kicker. Pick them up when they become free agents.
I think, I don't want to say too much, dude, because there is a kicker that I like in there, but I think Matt Prater got released after hitting the game. He got waived after hitting the game.
No way.
Yeah, he wasn't there to be there for the full year. I think they picked him up like a couple weeks ago.
I haven't seen that news.
Yeah. Oh no, he was added to the roster. Yeah, he returns to the practice. He's in the practice squad. He wasn't waived. They sent him down to the practice squad. He was replacing Tyler Bass was hurt. So if Tyler Bass is back, they don't need him. So they'll keep him in the practice squad, but he's not. Matt Prater is not going to be your kicker every week. So I
Oh,
save
that
you that.
answers that. Don't
Save you
waste
that one.
even a free agent move
He's not the
on
main
Matt
kicker on
Prater.
that team, even though he hit the game winner.
Okay.
Isn't that crazy?
I mean, you have highlights in your life, and you have some lowlights.
Dude, I know he was
That's a
41, but
highlight.
when the camera hit that guy, dude, I thought he was like the coach's dad. Jesus Christ, he looks so old. Oh my God, that Matt Prater looks so old.
There were a couple of fantasy busts. Do you consider that this is just week one kind of jitters, or is this a problem long term? Um, in particular, I want to focus on players like Kenneth Walker.
I think some of them are just the weak, and I think some of them are busts from the, you know what I mean? So, like, if we go to Kenneth Walker, see, I'd be concerned with Kenneth Walker because, like, it looked to me from what I saw in the game is that he's struggling with zone read, like with zone blocking, like with zone runs. So on zone runs, he's not hitting the gaps. Like I saw a couple gaps. I saw a couple toss plays where there was a cutback, and he's not taking them. And you can't run zone without a cutback. So, but he did hit the ones that he did hit that were positive were mostly gap scheme runs, which are more like power runs with a puller and all that stuff. And the offensive coordinator in Seattle is Clint Kubiak, and he is a zone run guy. So zone running is his thing. So if I have Kenneth Walker, I'd be a little concerned. That doesn't mean that he's going to suck all season, but you know what I mean? I'd definitely be a little bit scared of Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, I own Kenneth Walker. Thanks. Didn't inspire much confidence there. He's on the trading block,
Yeah.
by the way, if you're looking for a running back. And then I saw the
But
game
here's the
live, and it
thing.
looks like,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, I was saying that they gave the goal line stuff
To
to
Charbonnet.
Charbonnet too. So
Yeah. Yeah, so it looks like Charbonnet is going to be the goal line back. But, that's what I'm saying. Like, you just keep an eye out because if this problem is zone running, maybe they'll start incorporating a little bit more gap scheme runs in there, right? You know what I mean? And then he'll do better. Or,
I know, but I have no idea what you mean. You're the coach.
So like
Yeah, I guess so.
zone runs are where the offensive line block a space and then the running back has to
Right.
read the space. And the thing with zone runs is that a lot of times, like that's what the 49ers, the Rams, like all of these guys that come from the Shanahans do. So like when zone runs, when the line is moving horizontally, it creates cutback lanes. So the running back has to read these cutback lanes, right? On gap schemes, it's like you're hitting the hole between the guard and the tackle. And there's a pull that's going to lead block for you. So it's very straightforward. So that's the main difference between the two.
Mama, we learning. All right. That's Kenneth Walker. You can follow. Just no time to throw the ball. You couldn't get open. What's he doing with that?
So again, the offensive line is going to be the worst. He's so talented. He's a beast. This guy's going to be like 20 pounds. He's going to have he doesn't have as much, depending on the defense that they're playing. So better to depend on the that's what you got to look out for.
I have a feeling that this is going to be what it was when we removed Ben Johnson from the mix.
I have a strong opinion about that. I think the sexy thing and the obvious thing to say is like Ben Johnson was missing. And I'm a guy I'm not really saying that Ben Johnson did they definitely look I am surprised that more people aren't talking about the Packers defense. Like, I don't think that
still a starter, but
yeah.
this far into his career, he still needs his handheld. Like this guy is not great on kind of thinking on the fly. He'll come out of the gate with a script. Those few couple of plays are great, and then after that, when he's playing from behind, when he's having to improvise, not the best dude. And
I just think there's too much talent around him, though. I agree with everything you're saying, but I think Detroit has so much talent that people are just like, "Oh, but the coaching, yeah, coaching, like Ben Johnson's important too, but they have so much talent there that they're gonna figure it out." There's like that team is so talented on offense. They have the best tackle in the league in Penei Sewell. So their offensive line is solid. They have one of the best running backs. They have one of the best receivers. They have one of the best tight ends. Like, dude, they're stacked. They'll figure it out.
And on the flip side, Ben Johnson goes to Chicago, and Caleb Williams is looking capable. And some of those names are starting to stand out. Like they might be something in fantasy. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if
You know
I'm
what's
sold
funny?
after 1 week, but Romo Dunze is the name that's coming back up.
You know what's funny? And again, let's go back to this. This is the flip side of what I just said in regards to Ben Johnson. You look at Ben Johnson in Chicago, and I watched that game, and what I saw was a lot of wide open receivers, right? Because of the way that he was not only mixing in his plays, but the routes that they were running, the concepts that they were running. Ben Johnson is an offensive genius. You can clearly see that. And I also saw Caleb Williams missing them a lot. Like he had a lot of good plays, but he missed a lot of wide open dudes, like wide open. So like you can see that there is an impact on the coaching there. They looked a lot better, but they're still growing to do for Caleb Williams.
All right. AJ Brown, where was he?
AJ Brown, dude, I think this was part of the game plan. I'm not gonna overreact over 1 week. I think AJ Brown is gonna he's gonna get the ball. Again, he's too talented not to. But it looked like the game plan for the Eagles were clearly to use the tight ends underneath. They Dallas Goedert had a bunch of picks, a bunch of not picks. Excuse me, targets.
Catches. Targets, catches.
Targets, specifically targets. Clearly running the game, right? They rely on the quick game. They rely on the quick game a lot. So I just saw like AJ Brown running a lot of like little hitches and slants and stuff like that. I just think it was just a game plan. Now with a new offensive coordinator, will they game plan like that more throughout the season? We'll see. But
That's what I want to know.
we'll see. But dude, they're so fucking talented, man. I mean, AJ Brown is just. I think he's gonna get the ball. I think the fans are gonna ask for AJ Brown to get the ball. Philadelphians love him, dude.
So this isn't. I have him in the week one bust category, but this guy isn't so much a bust because I guess no one really had that high of expectations. But when our former commissioner put something like receiving yard or returning yards rather as a possible point generating category in our league, if you organize players by just points that they expect to score, Marvin Mims came up rather high, not too high. I didn't pick him crazy high, but he comes up. I don't think I started him, but I had an expectation for him, above all with the Champagne stuff, with the Bo Nix stuff. But it looks like most of his work is going to come off return yards. So he underperformed for what I thought he would do. Is he droppable?
Mims? No,
Yeah.
not yet. Not yet. Like I said, I think the Broncos looked rusty.
I mean, is he even the number 2 target in that team?
I think he is. I have to go back and check to be honest with you, but I'm pretty
I'm not
sure
talking
he
about
is.
number 2 receiver, but number 2 target. Because if they're
Yeah, he
throwing
got 100%. He got 4 targets. Like 4 targets. I just looked it up. So that's where he is. And again, that was a rusty game. I think that was a rusty game. I think
so
they'll
you're
do a lot
saying
better.
hold on for him a little longer. Mark
Yeah.
Andrews, he was another one that looked kind of invisible in that Baltimore game.
Ooh, bro. See, the thing with Mark Andrews is like, let's say, okay, Isaiah Likely is out. The Ravens scored 40 points. Lamar Jackson threw the ball all over the field. Mark Andrews was not a part of any of that. Like, I don't know what better scenario can you come up with for him to have a good game and it didn't happen. So I'd be 100% worried. They really, really, really want to get Zay Flowers involved. DeAndre Hopkins was making the catches that Mark Andrews was used to be making. Like, you know what I mean? So
Surprised to see him there, but he still got some juice.
Derrick Henry was catching the ball. Like, he's now part of the pass game. I'd be worried. I'd be worried if
Just
Mark Andrews
absolutely
personally.
ignored. And in the last 2 years, he's become a non-factor in fantasy.
Bro, injuries are real, man. Injuries are the real thing.
All right, so let's give a little love to the League of Haters 2025. This is the rundown for those that want to pay attention. The Unofficial Commentator Bowl, it was projected to be closer, but it ended up being the biggest blowout of the week. JJ
Pause.
Nogaocho, myself. Whoa. JJ Nogaocho, myself, blows out. Explain his name to me. Lion H Fairy Athlete. Is this like a play in a huddle?
That's one of my favorite plays. That's probably like my favorite play action play to call. So that's all of my fantasy teams. I named them after like my favorite plays. So this one is Lion H Fairy Act Liz Y Cross.
Yeah, this is gonna be hard. So Team Paki lost to me.
You're like, explain this name to me.
Yeah. Tua Loco, eh? I'm guessing this is the catchphrase or the ad lib for El Sujeto. Didn't do that great. Only scored 90 points. Like you said, he stacked up a lot of Dolphins. Dolphins didn't have a great offensive game. He
Dude,
got
it's
his ass
crazy how I said, like,
whooped.
dude, if the Dolphins have a bad week, and they had the worst possible week. Oh my God. There's no
And
way you can win. And he still
anytime
scored
that
more points than
happens,
me. God,
oh,
my
there
team
goes
is
that.
ass. God, my team is ass.
He lost to La Maldición Inca, the Joel Reyes team, scored 122 points. He exceeded his expectation and ended up third overall this week for fantasy scorers and League of Haters. The second to lowest total was Monty Candela. Monty auto-drafted, but he said he was committed. He was going to be part of the league, and he was going to win this. His projection was high. He was projecting 120 points. Just a lot of disappointing performances. Like I said, Bo Nix didn't do all that great. One touchdown to two interceptions, not a ton of yards. He had AJ Brown. He didn't net him a ton of yards, catches, or anything. Looking down the list, Kittle had a receiving touchdown. He was looking pretty good. And then he goes out with injury. James Conner just did the bare minimum. That's all they really needed to beat New Orleans. And then just a
Bro,
lot of disappointing.
Speaking of New Orleans, sorry to cut you off. I'm literally watching Red Zone and they're on the screen right now. What is up with that fucking uniform? I fucking hate it.
Dude, I loved it. What are you talking about?
What? I hate it. That gold
It was the
jersey,
gold jersey with the black pants?
I hate it. I don't know if
Oh,
it's
I loved it.
I hate it, dude. It looks almost like a college. I don't like it. I don't.
Love it.
Interesting. I don't like, and I don't like the helmet either with the little like dots. What's with
The
the
helmet,
all
I can take it or leave it.
black with gold, or the white with gold? Come on, man. Or black on top, gold on the bottom. But I'm just not digging this black, gold, black. Sorry, man. Go on.
Those are gonna go down like that. Those Wizards jerseys that were gold one
Yeah.
time.
It
They
just looks
came
so
around. People
cheap.
hated
That's what it
them.
is. That gold jersey just looks cheap. That's what it is.
I don't
It
know.
just looks
Like I
cheap.
saw them, and I was like, oh, it's not bad. I like it.
Not my
All
thing.
right. So Monte Candela loses to Screenshots 2024. Darryl gets the win, fourth highest scorer in fantasy. Oh my God, I hated this matchup. So Gicaldi goes up against Cousin Juan, loses by 10 fantasy points. He
This was the
leaves two
closest one,
spots
right?
empty.
This was the closest
Uh,
matchup, right?
yes, it was the closest matchup. It was the closest matchup. He could have won this, but he left two empty slots. He still scored more than you. He beat his own projection of 91 points. He scored 104 fantasy points. But dude, you put any kicker there, and so many of them had double digits, and you're winning this week. I'm
Yeah,
playing against Gicaldi this week. I hope he's paying attention. Do
I don't
not
think
give
he
up
is.
easy wins after
I
week
hope
three.
I'm wrong, but I don't think he is, dude. He hasn't said anything in the group chat. He didn't talk shit when the Colts beat the Dolphins,
I
or
called him.
unless I missed it.
I called him
Okay.
and I told him to pay attention. So I expect him to be on his
Oh, okay,
game.
okay, okay, cool. He seemed to.
The
I know
highest
we had a lot.
score.
I know we had a lot of drama there in the chat for a little bit, but we're past that.
Yeah, you can't keep giving up easy wins. I don't abide by this.
Yeah.
The Purge was the second highest score of the week. The Purge, I believe, is that Joel Benito? I can check. Yep.
Yep.
Indeed, it is.
It's
All
the
right,
Joel Bowl. The Joel Bowl.
so Brito beat Vasquez in the Joel Bowl, and not too much to say here. I mean, um, in a 12-team league, Joel had the ninth lowest score, so there weren't too many teams that he was going to be able to beat. It
I
wasn't
mean,
ever close.
Joel was
Not a ton to discuss.
one of the lucky owners to have Xavier Worthy on his starting lineup. So that definitely
Right,
has a lot to do with it. Fucking Xavier Worthy. I have
for
him in
sure.
another league started, and I won by 0.8 or something like that. Barely.
I'm not going to say he left a ton of points on the bench. I mean, he could have maybe. I assume he had some trust in him and wanted to do something. He didn't. That's not his fault. I don't think anybody could have predicted it. Um, so really, I'm just going to reserve that thought. There's nothing to say there. He got injured before he scored any points. I mean, who can be responsible for that? But even then, it wasn't that close. Benito had the second highest score of the team.
Right.
Maybe if Worthy stays in and gets 100 yards and 2 touchdowns, it's another story. But that wasn't the case. And then in the last matchup, the Wakanda Panthers had the highest score of any team this week, 127.8 points. They beat the system. The system, bad luck draw. He could have beat at least two teams that won this week, but he didn't match up with them, so them the breaks.
This team is
All
pretty
right.
good, dude. Derrick Henry, Brock Powers, Aaron Jones. Yeah, their kicker gave him 14 points. Ron's team is pretty good.
Yeah.
He got Bill on his bench that he showed up. He had a great game.
I mean, the system is nothing to sneeze at either. Justin Herbert, Ladd McConkey, Bijan Robinson, Travis Kelce, Jonathan Taylor, who I'm not too high on him, but he's still delivering.
Yeah, it's a good team too. I mean, you got Bijan and George Pickens, Ladd McConkey, Devontae Smith. I love how all the receivers are like similar type receivers. He's also got my sleeper quarterback of the year on his bench, which is JJ McCarthy. So that's a solid backup for Herbert. And you saw JJ McCarthy, dude. He started out very bad as a rookie because it's basically his first game ever, and then all of a sudden he looked good. I don't think he's gonna rush for a touchdown every week though, but he looked good at the end.
Yeah, he's
We'll
not
see.
getting that. I don't know that defenses are going to break down to the point where they leave 30-year-old Aaron Jones all the way in the end zone, essentially by himself. He caught the ball by himself, even though two defenders ended up collapsing on him. But that's not
Yeah,
going to happen every week either. So I don't know. But again, like you said, they go into halftime, they make adjustments, and that's what wins you games in the NFL. All right. So where Paki was right, the Texas O-line sucks. The Washington offense looks amazing. Where Paki was wrong, you had no faith in the Raiders, but they look pretty good.
good
You were
coaching.
high
Yeah.
on the Dolphins' offense. They didn't look too good.
It's just 1
And
week. I think they'll pick it up.
you were high on Malik Neighbors. I don't know where I'm at with him. Didn't really like his attitude.
If he
The
did something
Queen.
last week, if he did it last year, he'll do it this year. But Brian Dable needs to get fired, and I think he will
Ooh,
be mid-season.
wow.
The only thing that's gonna save Dable's job is if he starts Jackson Dart at some point during the season when they stink it up, and Jackson Dart like lights it up, because I think they're gonna keep struggling, and then he's gonna have to make a choice.
And he's probably not going to do that into the bye week. So I had one question to ask you to just kind of end it and go off on that note. A lot is being made about the Giants sticking with Russell Wilson. Um, I saw the game. I saw the abridged version of the game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that everything that happened there was necessarily on Russell Wilson.
Yeah, that's why I blame Brian Dable. I just don't know what it is, dude. But I don't like their play. I don't want to say it's just their play con. Like the Giants had the ball on the goal line, and I believe they ran the ball like 3 straight times and couldn't get it in. Like and they called some bullshit play action play where the left tackle went out on a pass or something. Like you get what I'm saying? Like I
He's
don't
trying
think
to
it's
get
all on
too fun.
Russell. I
Hey,
just if you're gonna run the ball, like I love the fact you're trying to run them on the goal line, but you either got to try different personnels, you got to try different groups, you got to get another running back, another power back or something. You got to try something, right? And then when you try to play action with like, I don't know, dude. That falls on the coaching, man. You're like your team got to be tougher. Like goal line scoring is all about toughness. That's all it is. So I don't know.
Yeah,
There's just something not there.
I don't get all this talk around Russell Wilson. I mean, it wasn't his best game, but it also wasn't the best game plan for him. We all know, if you've been watching him long enough, that rainbow throw is kind of his go-to. It's his best move, if you want to say that.
Mm-hmm.
And never tossed it. He was playing short game the whole game. He was just trying to get the ball out of his hands quick.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know, man. I think Brian Dable is just he's a little bit too conservative for my taste. I consider myself a conservative play caller as well, like coaching, and I think he's a little bit too much for my taste. I don't know, man. It's just
So what's the solution here? Just got to let it rip?
not all the time, dude. But you
Let
gotta
Russ cook?
have a little bit more play action down the field passing, not just play action screens and play action short passes.
Post show.
You know what I mean? You got to get the running backs more involved in the passing game as well. I think scheme wise, not because I know they don't have the best running backs, but scheme wise, right? You got to try to do it.
Dude, yikes. The Yankees game went final. 12-2. The Patriots split their ass. Ugh.
Oh man, the Mets were getting their ass kicked by the Phillies. I was at the game last night. I'm going tomorrow. I hope they win tomorrow because we lost yesterday too. Yeah, but I don't know, dude. I think
Yeesh.
Brandon Dable's time. I think to summarize, dude. I think Dable's time is done in the Giants. Like when you need a new job, like you're just
Ooh.
like when you get to the job and even the coffee tastes bad. Like the desk feels small. You know what I'm saying? Like this is shitty already.
All right,
Like I
we'll,
think he needs a new fucking
we'll
job.
give a couple of these coaches a pass to week one, but let's make that part of the show week two. Let's talk about a little bit of coaching hot seats.
3
All
straight
right,
years without
so
scoring a touchdown on the first game is unacceptable, bro. This is the NFL.
yeah, and
That's
you
on the
can't blame
coach.
it on Indiana Jones anymore.
That's on the coach, man. One of those 3 years you had Saquon on your team too. That's on the coach. Dog. Like
Yeah. I started with Eli. I could have put Indiana Jones there as my background. Oh man. All right. Well, this is goodbye from the original Paki Cast. And any goodbye comments on the way out?
No, man. Looking forward to this weekend, man. It's gonna be fun. Eagles and Chiefs is gonna be a great game. That's a game I'm looking forward to. So there is a possibility that the Chiefs might start the season 0-2. I can't wait.
Very possible. All right. Well, Paki, thank you for your time. To all of our fans and listeners and all of the people that did not clamor for the show to come back, we're back despite you. And we'll see you again
Yeah.
next week.
If you kept listening, honestly, I don't know why. You should have hung up when we told you at the beginning, right? Because Cousin Juan said nobody asked for this.
No shit that you were taking could have taken this long for you to still be on the toilet. No
For real.
drive is this long for you to listen to this in the car. I don't know what you're still doing here.
Yeah,
Goodbye. See
dude.
you next week.
Yeah.